It begins with a strange door out of place. You don't even see it at first. It's just a shadow out of the corner of your eye after you've passed. One day, realizing what you see, you stop. But as soon as you do, it's gone. You shake your head and laugh before continuing with your day. It happens again a few hours later, but this time you stop and it's still there. For a moment, you just stand there in front of the door, but then curiosity overcomes you and you open it, only to find your own reflection. You laugh and wonder why someone would place a mirror behind a door. How stupid. You close the door and go about your day, but your mind never really leaves the thought of that strange door. Why was it there? What was its point? A few days later, you see the door again. At first, you don't even pause, but the curiosity makes you turn around. Once again, you open the door to find just the same mirror. And this happens a few more times. Finally, just as you're about to give up on it, you notice it. It's not much, but it's enough to keep you opening that door. Just a few shadows in the mirror. You look behind you, but there's nothing there. This gets boring after a while, and you really consider just ignoring the whole thing the next time it happens. Then you begin to hear the voices. None of them are clear, just a slight buzz or a ringing at the most. Yet once again, you're lured back to the door for more. Not long after, the shadows begin to take actual shape, and the voices start to make sense. It gets easier to understand everything with more concentration. Finally, one day, you find the door in place of your coat closet on the way to work. You open it expecting more hushed voices and vague shadows in a mirror, but what you see surprises you. There is no mirror any longer. You can't see yourself there at all. Instead, you see people behind the door. The sight of them frightens you enough to slam it shut, yet they never even look at you. Once again, you begin to ignore the door for a few days. Finally, after almost a week, you break down, open the door, and step through. You've never done that before, and you're not sure why you started this time. But now that you've crossed over their threshold, they begin to notice you. First one, then a few of them welcome you and ask how you are. Of course, you're shy and a little scared, but they take their time to adjust to your actions, and finally you realize that you're being silly and you begin to talk to them. They seem like nice people, and you begin to wonder why you were so rudely cautious before. They tell you they don't get visitors often, and they tend to get lonely with just each other. You begin to feel a little sorry for all of them. At some point, the question occurs to you. After an internal debate, you decide to ask someone, "Who are you guys? How did you get here?" The person closest to you chuckles and says, "We're Syelims, and we came here the same way you did, through the Roram doorway." "Oh," you say. After a while of more talking, you realize that you've been here too long. You're late for work by now, and you have to go, but you promise them that you'll return. And that's when things begin to change. They tell you you can't leave. You laugh and begin to search for the door, but you can't find it anymore. That's when you notice something different about the people, something that makes you ask yourself, how are they talking to me? Because now that you really look at them, you notice they don't have mouths or noses. In fact, their bodies are completely lacking in human feature. The only similarity are the two eyes, but even that is a cruelly dissimilar sight. They're simply long slits at the top of the skull with a black abyss beneath them. Their naked, repulsively gangly bodies are covered in stretched, red, splotchy skin. How come I didn't notice this before, you think to yourself. Then a thought passes through your mind that isn't your own. You're ours now. You start to scream, but you can't. Your mouth won't open. Why won't it open? You want to open your mouth and scream. You have to. Someone will hear you and come get you. They'll realize you're missing and see the door. Someone will save you from these things. One of the creatures then begins to walk. No, not walk. It begins to crawl. Its gangly legs twitch and writhe as it gets closer to you. You're in too much shock to move, even when it's only inches from you. Once it's there, it begins to laugh. But without a mouth, the sound merely echoes through your mind. It's the most horrifying noise you've ever heard. You turn and run, and thankfully, they don't follow. Finally, you find another door. You look around cautiously before opening it. Disappointment and fear resonate through you as you see just another creature behind the door. You collapse to the ground in defeat, and the creature seems to kneel to the ground as well. You stare at it, and in return, you feel its similar glare. The creature turns its face to the side, and its gray head begins to rip apart to reveal a set of horrific, jagged teeth. So it does have a mouth, just not one used for speaking, you think tediously. At first, you're sure you're going to die, but the creature doesn't move. And you realize it's smiling at you. For some reason, this comforts you, but you wonder why it hasn't said anything to you yet. So you get up only for the thing to mimic you. You try to give it a complex look, but its black eyes just stare back at you, blankly. Every once in a while, its stretched skin flashes over its slits, as if it were blinking. You start to back away, and once again, it mimics you. That's when you slam the door. For a moment, you're confused. Why was it doing that? Was it some kind of torture? Something to get you to suffer? You sigh internally and reopen the door. Once again, you stare at it, and it at you. More things begin to accumulate around the first. All of them now wear the same cruel grin, the one that the first one wore. You close your eyes for a moment and slowly open them to see the creature doing the same thing. All of the things in the doorway seem to be laughing silently, as if there was some joke here that you just don't understand. Their stares become too much, so you turn around, only to find the same creatures standing behind you. A memory of the first time you opened the door, what seemed like ages ago, flits through your mind as you look back at the doorway. A look of fear flashes through the black eye slits of the thing before returning to a cold look of cruelty. And the smile widens as you give in. Maybe living here with them won't be so bad. Despite how they look, you know they won't hurt you. You're theirs now. Sometime later, hours, days, maybe even years, the door opens on its own. Someone steps through the doorway. It's a new Syelem. She seems shy. You decide to greet her, make her feel welcome. It's so nice to see a new face. You hope she stays. Oh yeah, that would be nice. Kind of reminds me of going to one of those meetings where everyone's so enthusiastically welcoming that you wonder where the hitch is when that other shoe is going to drop. Stay scary, wildlings. Make the most of your nights.